Let's talk about the 5 stewardships of movement leadership. But to help us out, let's just first start talking about what we mean by movement. First off, we're not talking about a model, and we're also not saying what God requires of us. We don't get to accomplish movement. That is a work of the Lord. So when we say movement leadership, of course, we're talking about the work of making disciples that make disciples, that ends up planting churches that plant churches, and are postured and motivated towards God's heart for the ends of the earth. So maybe a easy way, a simpler way to think about movement is simply this. It's just seeing gospel impact beyond our direct influence. And that's you and me personally, because we are raising up, equipping and empowering and releasing others, or even our orgs, our expressions, our entities, that we are doing the same. We're raising up, we're equipping, and we're empowering and releasing, and we're seeing gospel impact go beyond where we are. And that is the only way we get to the ends of the earth. So we plant seeds and water, God causes the growth. So we just want to think about what is our part to steward in this movement leadership. So there are 5 stewardships, right? Leadership stewardship 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In the first stewardship we see here, this is the disciple maker. Here they are, and they are just discipling the people in their life, right? That's disciple maker. Let me write this. The disciple maker. And we see that is the leadership stewardship of every Christ follower. Every Christ follower is expected and called and invited to be a disciple maker. So we want to normalize that. We want to expect that, pursue that, nurture that, cultivate that. So that's the first stewardship, and that is every Christ follower is a part of that. The second stewardship is what we would say church planter. And we just draw a circle here, but that connects to another principle and concept from Acts 2:36 through 47 that we call church circle. It's a picture of a healthy church, and it helps us define what church is and steward it well. And so out of this disciple-making work, we see a church started, a church birthed from planting the gospel, reaching people, discipling them, and identifying as church. So this is church planter. And that is what CP. So that's the second stewardship of movement leadership. The third stewardship of movement leadership is church plant multiplier. So we see this leader who is raising up other leaders that are multiplying churches. Right? So this leader is not that they are starting church after church. That's great if they do. But the church plant multiplier is the one who is raising up other leaders who are planting the gospel, discipling people, seeing people gathered, and then identifying as church, and then doing the same. So that's the third leadership stewardship. Church planter multiplier. Or you could say church plant multiplier, either way. Church plant multiplier. And then the fourth stewardship of movement leadership is what we would call, we're going to write this one out, a movement catalyst. This person here, what they do is they come into someone else's stream in order to help them start a work. of the gospel in a new context. So they're coming alongside others, supporting them and helping them do the work. And then the last stewardship of movement leadership is what we would call the strategy coordinator. An SC. And all we mean by that is that this person has their eyes on the gaps. So they're looking and pushing outward and helping focus and steer resources and work to the gaps where lostness is. So when we think about all of this coming together, one of the things that's really helpful to remember and to know is that it really all comes down to seeing the work of L3. And again, they all matter, but everything feeds towards L3. So this is working this way, and this is working this way. And really, even L4s and L5s, as they are looking to serve in this bigger picture, really what they're doing is helping get all the way back to here. Right? So this is how we do our part to steward the work of what only God can accomplish in disciple-making gospel movement to the ends of the earth.